This is Undone in Unity Experiment, where I try to recreate UIs from popular games. This video is for the game Clash Royale, created by Supercell and released in 2016. Clash Royale came out after Supercell's massive success, Clash of Clans, which a majority of Clash Royale's characters come from. Clash Royale is a real-time multiplayer strategy game for mobile. The art style of the game features exaggerated body proportions, plastic-like materials, and vibrant colors. The game builds off Clash of Clans and focuses more on action and removes the base building altogether. In Clash Royale, the game is simple: destroy your opponent's towers. To do this, each player is able to place characters on the board, and they will then proceed to attack their designated targets. For this recreation, I focused on the match screen's UI, since it is the UI that allows the player to engage in combat. I focused on the screen resolution of an iPhone 8 since that is the phone that I have and use for references. To get started, I recreated a handful of assets and paid close attention to the sizing and coloring of each. Because Clash Royale has a vertical orientation, it makes it easy for long lines of text to overlap, which is something that determines the size of text elements. After placing the standard text such as the enemy's name, clan, and trophy count, I worked on creating the countdown timer. I used a transparent box and the Supercell font, and then had to write some code to make the timer fully functional. First, we need a variable that decreases over time, and then we need to check to see if the time has run out or not. The next step is to make sure that the time is displayed to the screen properly. To do this, we have to make sure that the minute and seconds are used as the formatting, rather than just seconds. We use mathf.floor-to-int to adjust when the minutes and seconds change. To format the string, we use string.format and use curly brackets. Within these curly brackets are two numbers. The first number determines which variable will be used, and the second number determines the formatting of that variable. Since Clash Royale never reaches double-digit minutes, we only want 1 0 on the right side of the first curly brackets to make it a single-digit minute count. Now that we have our timer working, we can move on to the score. I brought in images for the crowns to show the score, and then nested a text component within each. Next, I worked on the elixir bar. In Clash Royale, units require elixir to be spawned, and throughout the game each player constantly gains elixir until they reach the max, which is 10. To create the elixir bar, I used a purple bar asset that I created, and made sure to fit it within the slot on the wood board that I also created. From there, I changed the elixir bar's image type to fill, and made sure that it fills from the left to the right. I connected its fill amount to an increasing variable in the game manager, which stops when it reaches the max. The game also has a number displaying the current number of elixir you have, which I simply used mathf.floor-to-int to make the number only display as an integer. The last and most important element of the UI is the character cards. Each card has an elixir cost, so the first thing I did was add a script to the cards that allows each to have an adjustable cost variable. From there, we need to make the cards clickable, and to do this, we can use a pointer event. In order for the card to be clickable, we need the current elixir to be higher than the cost, which we can use an if statement for. Another important aspect is that cards are constantly spawning to be played. I created a random spawning function and set the spawn point to be in the bottom left corner of the screen. In the game, the next card to be playable is smaller than the cards in the player's hand, which is a great way to create a visual difference between the two. I used an animation to scale down the card, and then we can use another animation to scale the card up when it moves into the player's hand. Lastly, the game uses a radial overlay to visually show when a card is ready to be played. To do this, I simply created an asset the size of the card with a white transparent color and placed it on top of the card. Then I set its image type to fill and chose radial. The fill needs to start at the top and go counterclockwise. And here we have it, my recreation of the Clash Royale match screen. This project is available to access in the description below. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to post it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.